Welcome back to the Dare Show podcast. That's what we're all here for. So let's talk. Let's talk. Wait, what do I want to talk about first? I guess I'll just go in with Rhoda Young live. I have become the Virgo in me has just jumped out, and I've just become sort of obsessed with Rhoda Young live. She is a reporter, quote unquote, a hood reporter from Virginia, and she has just rocked my world. Rhoda, if you're listening to this, I would definitely want to interview you. Please, let's talk. Rhoda, so let me just give you a little background information on what I've consumed about Rhoda Young Live. She is in Virginia, and she's smart, right? She's very smart, taking social media and using it to her advantage and using it in a smarter way than sort of the old other news reporters are. Well, not even other. She has a different advantage being on Facebook and YouTube or wherever, going live, than getting the story right then and there. Whether this past, like yesterday, she was with the this case, Corey something. It was an interesting last name, but Corey. She was that's what she does. She goes like to the courthouses. She goes to your house. She'll go to the establishment. She's live, and other reporters are there from, like, I think her catchphrase is you seen it here first. Wait, because she talks so fast. She talks so fast, and it cracks me up to where, okay, her name is Rhoda Young Live, but she said Rhoda Young Live, Rhoda Young Live, Rhoda Young Live. And I'm like, rodeo live, rodeo young, wait, what? But her catchphrase, wait, did I write it down? It's before Wavy News, Wavy News 10, Channel 3, and Channel 13 News. I think that's what it is. Yeah. So all these news stations, they'll be there. Like yesterday, there was just like a news station. All the news stations at the courthouse, along with Rhoda, and and her advantage is she's live on Facebook, while they have to, they're not necessarily live. I don't believe. Yeah, I don't think they're live. They're just like recording, and then go to the editing, and then they eventually play it on TV like later that day. But Rhoda is live, and she's getting the live. Rhoda will run, Rhoda will sprint, Rhoda will drive her giant truck. I just love it. It's a great advantage, and people are watching her. She has Rhoda Young Live. Rhoda Young has a following, and okay, side note, sometimes, wait, no, I'm going to talk about that later. But she has a following, and she makes shit happen. Like, she has impact, and she has leverage over things. Where did I write that down at? She has leverage over things. Oh, like, one of the things that, two things I have written down, but there's probably a plethora that I really don't know about. A couple of weeks ago, there was like a lady, people call in, people, I guess, will text her or whatever. I have such and such, can you help me out? And she's very giving. She has so many resources. She knows how to get things done. She'll call the city. She'll call the city manager. She'll call and find the right people to make people in charge aware of situations. So this one lady, she had called Rhoda about poop being in her front yard. The maintenance wouldn't clean it up, or the leasing people, the housing place, they wouldn't clean it up. They wouldn't do anything about it. And so she's like, the fecal matter is like messing up in the walls, something very crazy. So Rhoda got on Facebook, talked to the lady. A couple hours later, I think she went to it was like make a police report or go to the leasing office, and Rhoda was like, she backed it out. She backed out of doing that. And so she had called Rhoda, and like the leasing office wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't even talk to her. It had been like weeks since they like spoke to her. And she was like, yeah, because they want you to take the video down. And Rhoda was like, Rhoda said, I'll think about taking the video down, but until they actually do some stuff for you, I'll think about taking the video down. Ain't nothing popping off over here. And like, people are watching Rhoda, and Rhoda is exposing the disparities. She's exposing the triumphs. She's exposing the craziness in Virginia. She's helping her city out. She's helping her town out. That's what she really is all about, and I love it. It makes me want to have I feel like we all need a little Rhoda Young Live in our city to expose things in a positive way. And she does go off a bit. No, but she'll go off on you if you go off on her first. She's very calm. She's very like, don't disrespect me, and I won't disrespect you. And once she gets to that disrespectful level, it's going down. Oh my God. It's going down. So how did I come across Rhoda? So I remember this video of Rhoda. I think it was like in 2020. It became like viral or something. And she was like in Domino's, and they were making her food in like the sink or something. She kept saying, and so then she's like talking to the other customers who got their food and eating. And she's like, "Yeah, can you believe this?" And they're like, they kind of went off on Rhoda, and Rhoda went right back off on her. So that was the first one. This last month, a video of her talking. She was at like this council meeting, and I believe like the black people were being clearly not taken serious, or the black people weren't being responded to with their complaints by the council, and so she had like walked out because there was like some kind of big thing about like the churches or something being taken over, or the property or something like that by the state. I mean the city. So she had walked out, and she was like just calmly talking to the like the church members or something like that, and the people. And so she was calmly talking to them, and they were like, they kind of go after Rhoda when she's very calm. She's not disrespectful. She's not loud. Or she's not loud with it. She her voice is the correct volume and correct in different situations. And so they kind of was like, you need to like stop or like calm down. She's like, I'm just talking to the man. I'm just asking him questions. And they totally, multiple times, I've seen that happen on her videos where they try to shut her up or shut her down. And she's just like, I'm just talking to somebody. I'm just trying to get simple information out of you, and you're acting totally wild. But that had went viral. She was like talking to, I don't know who the man was, but she was talking to the man. And he's like, Rhoda, we she was like, how do you feel about disrespecting black women? And he's like, Rhoda, leave me alone. He didn't say that, but that was basically his thing. And she's like, how do you feel about, oh my God, Rhoda, she has, what the hell? Rhoda contains information so well. And she's like the old school, the old school like reporters and the old school paparazzi firing out question, and they're all new. It's not the same question. She'll give you like 10 questions in 2 minutes. Firing them off, walking and running and walking. She's so great at it. I just love it. Yeah, so she does like different investigations, like the Chinese food. I saw the one Chinese food, they had like old chicken or spoiled chicken. Shit, like y'all could give me diarrhea. The hotels, they have like bed bugs and they don't want to talk. And She has her press pass. She's very certified. She's very respected. You want me to go off the property? Okay, I'll go off the property. I'll go across the street and we can do this story. This one thing about like this one school where there was so much violence, and I thought they were like teenagers. These kids were like babies. They're like 7 or 8 or something like that. There was the one girl, she was so tiny and so cute, and then the other kid, he was so tiny too. So I'm like, why is so much like the one girl? She had like her face scraped. The boy, he had gotten his teeth knocked out. It, she's exposing it all. Nursing homes, bad nursing homes in the area. Oh, another one that made some change was like this homeless woman with like some children, like a newborn, or like not a newborn, like some really small kids. They her following, and Rhoda helped her get into a hotel for like a week. So Rhoda is like a mover and shaker in Virginia. People know Rhoda. The politicians know Rhoda. She was like, politicians, they do me so dirty. They want to use me, but then when I need them, they don't want to help, or whatever she said, something like that. She'll definitely call it. There's so many disrespectful customer service. It is so funny. The handicap. Oh my gosh. Don't ask her about her handicap sticker. Don't ask her why she's parking in the handy. To be honest, my grandmother said, why do we have to park all the way down there when the handicap, they have the strollers, they have the walkers, they have the wheelchairs, they can wheel their asses all the way down there? And I kind of agree. I'm like, yeah, why do I have to park all the way down there when I don't have a walker? I don't need a walker. But whatever. They have aid and assistance. Let them, whatever. But don't ask her about her handicap sticker. There are multiple videos. She's like, this is a violation of my HIPAA law. You're not allowed to ask me if I'm disabled. Leave me alone. Rhoda is hilarious. Rhoda will crack you a joke. She is cracking jokes left and right. Are you married, single, divorced, or widowed? The one with the Karen video where she got... which was so wrong. She was like, Karen, this lady was about to get arrested for shoplifting in Walmart. Rhoda's like, I'm live. I'm Rhoda Young live. Let me get live in this bitch. And so as they're walking out, Rhoda, is taping her, which I also understand Rhoda about taping. Rhoda's like, if I don't tape, things are going to happen and you're not going to know what's really going on. But if I do tape, people don't want to be on camera, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, just like, y'all get on my nerves with, I don't want to be taped. I don't want to be filmed. Like, who the fuck are you? It's just a camera. And if you're not acting ridiculous, there's no need for you to be worried. But the lady was taping her, and Rhoda's like, ma'am, you're about to go to jail, because they were about to bring her into the office. And the lady went and punched Rhoda, or hit Rhoda. Yeah, she hit her like on her arm so hard, it like gashed her arm up at the end of the day. And it knocked Rhoda's phone off her hand, and it flew across the lobby of Walmart. And so Walmart didn't do anything. The police were there. Rhoda was hit. Rhoda hit her back in self-defense. And then they didn't end up, like, at the end of the day, Rhoda, they kind of, again, the officer was like, you were kind of wrong because you hit her, but the white lady hit her first. Like, what are we missing? And the white lady did not going to jail, because they were like, never mind, you can go watch it. It's on YouTube. A lot of her stuff is on YouTube. Right now, Rhoda is working harder, she's working smarter, not harder. I think occasionally now, we see her going really out on the streets, but I don't really, in the past like month, it's probably been like once or twice that I've seen her like out on the streets. What is it? We live in this bitch right now. I don't know all the words, but I love that song. It's Rhoda Young live. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, she's working harder, not smarter. She's doing like interviews in her house. I think she actually had like an actual show. Yeah. This, I think in the last couple of months she had her first Rhoda Young live show. I didn't really watch it all, but I'm aware that that happened. So congratulations to that. Congratulations to her platform. It's definitely, all her videos have like 10,000, 14,000 plus views on them. She does like interviews. She's doing like interviews, I think via like Zoom or Facebook or something now. It's really great. It's really great. She's really a funny person. Rhoda, if you're listening, please let's talk. I want people to know about you. I think that's all I have to say. Oh, she does promotions. Oh my God, there's one promotion for this one. Was one place in Virginia. The food looked kind of good. It was like, pretty cheap food. It was like a bar type place. The advertising looked good. It was like the only lemon pepper fish. They had like wings. The food looked really, really good. And the drinks were like cheap and shit. I was like, okay. So that was pretty interesting. So shout out to Rhoda Young Live. I'm a fan. You can follow her on Facebook at Rhoda Young Live. And yeah, shout out to Rhoda Young Live. All right, so what's next on the list? So I wanted to say, can you hear that? This Ghetto Mess. I wanted to say that there's the viral video that popped off a couple of days ago of, what's her name? Paula Patton frying chickens. She calls them chickens. They were chicken wings, but she's a little off as we see. Paula Patton was frying chickens, and she had this different way of frying them, right? So she dusted on them with flour, or powder, as she mistakenly called it. Clearly, Paula doesn't cook. So Paula dusted it with flour, and then fried it with avocado oil. I think at the end of the video, you see like the oil is black. And it's probably partially because of the seasoning, but I think also because of the avocado oil. Like, I don't think you're supposed to fry with avocado oil. I think that's more like a saute oil. I think, olive oil. Some olive oils are good, okay with frying, but, avocado. Oh, wait, no. They fry chips with avocado oil. Never mind. But still, I don't think you're supposed to fry with avocado oil. Avocado, coconut. I think those are like high temp. Or is it low temp? Low temp oil, so like they burn faster. But anyway, so she then, she fries it, puts it in the avocado oil, and then sprinkles the seasoning on it. The seasoning wasn't, anything crazy, but that was her method, and I think that was like not the ordinary method. I'm not against it. It's a different way of frying chicken, definitely, or chickens, like I called it. It's a definitely different way of doing that. I'm interested in it to see how it tastes. But I'm not gonna go do that myself. Like, I'll go over to Paula's house. Paula, you want to make some fried chickens? Let's see how that tastes. I want to see how it tastes. I'm not bashing it. It's like I said, it's just funny, and it's just a completely different way of doing it. So I'm just like, oh, okay. And then she did it. She cooked all the chickens for her son's school or class or whatever. So I'm like, okay. How did that turn out? Because don't nobody want no cold, soggy fried chicken. But yeah, everybody else is, roasting her. But I'm not roasting her. I'm interested. So next, I just want to give my little. I've already done a Grammy recap. Thank you so much for listening. If you listen to it, I need to make the video for YouTube right quick. But some things I just want to point out, and some things I didn't point out. Lil Nas's performance was boring. It was boring. He didn't give what I thought he was gonna give or should have gave or whatever. Little Nas as a performer is boring in a way, but or maybe it's just like live perform his award show performances. They've been boring. The choreography was. I saw him like do like 30 seconds of a good piece of choreography, but I must have been like not paying attention at that time. It was clearly, Michael Jackson inspired, Beyonce inspired with, the band. We didn't see him, conducting the band and doing like, the little hand moments for the breaks during the songs. Other than that, it was boring. He didn't win. I think he is a little bit sad about that. That's all I have to say about Little Nas and his boring performance. Hip hop designer. So during the memoriam, okay, here we go. During the memoriam, Virgil, I believe his name is, he passed away. I don't know why they acknowledged him. He wasn't a singer, but they called him a hip hop designer. And I tweeted that out. I'm like, what the fuck is a hip hop designer? And then I see the article like yesterday or this morning or something saying the Grammys called him a hip hop designer. I don't know what the fuck that is or why that was acknowledged. Like I said in my recap, the Foo Fighters drummer got like a 30-second like video tribute, but then we call, Virgil a hip hop designer who wasn't necessarily in music like that. And then we have LaShawn Pace, who also they didn't put in the memoriam. I just want to reiterate that they didn't put LaShawn Pace or Tracy Braxton. Tracy, I kind of can understand, but still, LaShawn Pace of the Pace Sisters, a Grammy-nominated group, down bad. Y'all did horrible. So yesterday, let's move along. Yesterday, more clips of this interview with, I think her name was, more clips of the interview Sheryl Ralph did with Jaleel White or Jaleel Hill, I think her name is. They keep coming out. And so this one part became, known on Twitter. And they were talking about Dreamgirls, Sheryl was a part of the Dreamgirls. I think the whole cast might have helped with the roles and the music and stuff like that. I think it was like a team effort from what, if I remember correctly. Or maybe it was like Jennifer was a team effort with And I Am Telling You and / Effie, I think, in a way, something like that. So Sheryl, played the original Deena Jones, as we know, my fave singer, Beyonce. She performed, even though, I'm very critical of Beyonce at this point, and some things I don't like, some things I enjoy. I do have something special, a little top 15 favorite Beyonce costumes episode coming. Just give me a moment. I'm still gathering information. But the Deena Jones of it all. B played the Deena Jones in the movie, and what Sheryl said ultimately was, "Hey guys, I feel like if Beyonce had consulted me more about Deena Jones, she would have won something." I don't think Beyonce's performance is bad compared to her career of acting. It's not that bad. I think Deena Jones and Etta James, those two are probably her best performances. She did talk about there's an evolution of Deena, which there definitely is. Deena is not important to the Dreamgirl story. I mean, she's important, but she's not the story. Effie White is, this whole thing was based off of Diana Ross and the Supremes, and what's her name? I always forget people's names. Diana. Let's call her Effie White Sr. Okay, so Effie White Sr., was pushed to the side. In a way, it was sort of like the actual story. I've heard multiple, books, accounts. I think Effie White Sr. played a big role in her demise. But Barry Gorey also played a bigger role in her demise. Um, Deena Jones, Effie White Senior. Okay, Effie White Senior. This movie is not about Effie. I mean, this movie's not about Deena. The movie's about Effie and Effie's treatment and Effie's talent being shunned. Effie's treatment also being shunned. It's interesting. It's interesting. But she was like, I totally blank. I'm so sorry, you guys. Sheryl Lee Ralph was like, there were certain coy elements. Deena becomes this little girl, comfortable singing background, talented singing background, has this, sort of, we say, I feel like, Beyonce is a very decorative singer. From singing, she could sing a little pop beat. She could also sing an R&B song, and she could also sing a soulful song, as we see with Etta James. And that kind of helped, I think, Beyonce from singing, backgrounds and having, she told us she had to pull back singing for doing the backgrounds to, this big power ballad of Listen. So there's that, her diversity help play this role, which I don't think was so bad. Well, I guess I'm talking about singing, but like acting wise, maybe a little, help could have been helped her get nominated for more things or won something. But other than that, I feel like Beyonce did a great job on Deena Jones. I don't know. And people were kind of. I saw comments on both, but I think mostly were in Deena and Cheryl's favor of talking about Deena being needed to be more cultivated and directed more by the director. But I'm like, the movie wasn't about Deena. Everybody in Dreamgirls kind of had this evolution, kind of except for Effie. She was kind of delusioned. She was kind of delusioned, unfortunately. But I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I feel like she did well. I think she did great. What do you think? Please let me know. For Sheryl Lee Ralph, she's very opinionated. She's a gorgeous, talented woman. Gorgeous. She's on Elementary. I think that's what, is getting her a lot of talk. But yeah, that's what people were saying. They were saying, she should have been conducted more. But the thing at the end of the day, none of the women from Dreamgirls. I hope you cannot hear this. I think they're doing construction. I'm in a different location and they're doing construction or something is going on. And they decided to do it now. And I've been here for like 2 hours. But none of the women were asked to consult or give any opinion really on Dreamgirls, the movie, because Jennifer Holliday definitely said, I was not asked to do anything. Asked about anything on it, not even a cameo. Loretta Devine got a cameo, and then I'm guessing Sheryl Lee Ralph wasn't asked about it either, but I think maybe the last two went to the premiere or something. But Jennifer Holliday was not. Jennifer Holliday is Dreamgirls at the end of the day, and she was not consulted. She was not asked. It was boop, blop. Side note, the Dreamgirls soundtrack is on Spotify. I found that very interesting. I listened to some of it. Not in a bad way, you guys. I'm not in a bad way. But yeah. And then there's, that Beyonce career. Beyonce acting controversy. Etta James definitely is a great role. Some of her, voiceover work is okay. Like, nobody cares. What's she doing in the movie? She's supposed to do A Star Is Born. If she was supposed to, but I think she got pregnant during that time. Yeah, I think it was like 10 years ago. A Star Is Born was supposed to be happening. And I was very excited. I was like, oh, she's gonna recreate the music. But then I think I keep forgetting, Beyonce is a creative and everything is new mostly with her. And so then I thought, oh, okay, she's not probably going to do these songs. But like that Bumblebee song, I was like, oh, Beyonce's going to tear this song up. I was so excited. I think she's supposed to do it with like Clint Eastwood, or he's supposed to direct it or something. I forget. But I think Will Smith was like supposed to be, it was another like male actor. They were just like in and out of male actors, in and out of like directors. And then it's got paused, and then, Gaga got lit. So it was very interesting. A Star Is Born, but I was excited for her. I think that would have been a great role to see her play. Yeah, I don't know what could be next for Beyonce's acting career. I don't know. I don't think anybody knows what she's up to. But anyways, that's the end of this Dare Show podcast. You don't have to like it. You don't have to share it. Just leave a comment. I just want to know what you guys think about some of the stuff I talked about. Please check out Rhoda Young Live. She is hilarious. I think it was something I wanted to say quickly about Rhoda. Maybe it's like her voice, her accent is very thick and very funny. Yeah, Rhoda's hilarious. She's also informative. Like I said, she's a mover and shaker. Paula Patton, send me some fried chicken. I'll do a live review of it. The Grammys overall, like I said in my recap, you can go listen to it. I did enjoy the Grammys. I don't, some of the performances weren't as interesting as others. And my Lizzo. So if you listen to it, you know what I'm talking about. Lizzo, Cardi B, Megan, and now Doja. The rap girls all got Grammys. Congratulations. This is the Dare Show podcast. You can follow me on My Love, My Need Tonight on Instagram. I'm on Spotify Podcast. I always do this. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all the podcast platforms. I'm on there. I'm also on YouTube on The Dare Show with tons of other like Patti LaBelle information. For some reason, all these like Patti LaBelle, I'm getting a lot of comments on these, videos I have of Patti. I'm a Patti freak. I'm a music freak. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back next week. Or no, I'll be back. I have another episode I have to do of, Beyonce's top 15, my top 15 favorite tour costumes. This one is hard. Some are easier to conduce, and some of them are very hard to conduce. But I'm going to do it. Thank you for listening.
And I have this fierce single that Sammy McKinney and these little guys put together, baby. I got a single that'll make you jump up and dance, and if you can't dance to that, you got a hole in your soul, okay?